I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test.
Hello everybody and welcome to Nerdio Commentaries Pokémon Battle Revolution playthrough. This is part 1 and with you is Chaz and
I'm Brante.
And we're going to take you through basically the entire series of Colosseums in Pokémon Battle Revolution. Now this is I think it's the 5th console Pokémon game that came out. The first one way back on the N64 was Pokémon Stadium, which was the first 3D Pokémon battling game, and it was pretty cool for its time.
I've never played it.
Well,
I never had an N64.
Ah, well you should give it a try, although it is kind of outdated at this point.
Yeah.
That was back when all they had were like the Game Boy games to work with, which can no longer really connect with the current versions.
Yeah.
So here we have some nice little footage of some sample battles.
Now, from what I've seen of the N64 version, some of the old Pokemon, are some of their animations the same? The way they move and stuff?
Yeah, well I think it's basically everything is the same as it used to be. They've just been, of course, updated with newer models for like the Wii graphics. But, yeah, like the games that came out on the GameCube for, first we had Pokemon Stadium and Stadium 2 were on the N64. Then we had Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, and those were on the GameCube. And the animations that they chose for that, some of them didn't kind of like match with the moves that they kind of did, but in this Battle Revolution, things seem to really flow a lot better. Like they would have things where, Charmeleon used Mega Punch, and he would kind of run up and do a growling-looking attack.
Yeah, that was something a lot of what I remember before it came out. When they were talking and hyping up this game, that was something they were really excited about, that the Pokemon would actually go up and hit each other. Yeah,
with this new one here, when I first got this game and I started it up, it showed that introduction there where it shows Pikachu use Quick Attack and he actually runs up and hits Deoxys. And I was like, oh, that would be so cool if that's what happens. And what do you
didn't
know?
believe it would?
Yeah, well I thought they were just kind of showing off the graphics.
Nah.
But then when I use my first attack in the game and he actually runs up, I'm like, oh, he does go up to hit the guy. And here's
the longest landing ever. It was sundown and then it was dark as soon as you get down.
Well, what I was thinking, what they should have done is, instead of just landing the plane, they should have had you parachute out like in Wii Sports Resort. That would have been cool. You float down on like a drift loon or something like that. I don't know. Okay, viewers, I'd just like to take a moment to apologize here too, because as this is the first time we're going through this game from the start, I decided to let the receptionist tell us everything there is about the menus for anyone that doesn't know. And she tends to go on quite a long time.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, Okay, first she's talking about the rental pass. When you first start the game, there's 2 passes you can choose from. There's like a boy and a girl, and each one has a pretty decent team of rental Pokemon, to put it nicely.
Decent.
Yeah. We'll say adequate, satisfactory. Yeah.
Average.
In case you can't tell people, we are trying to be polite and saying, they suck!
Yeah, I avoid using the rental pass whenever possible.
Yeah, there's only one stadium that you need to use it in, and that's the Gateway Coliseum. And after that point, you're probably going to want to have a team off your DS card. So here she goes describing the menus. I don't know why she has to make such slow motions to point to everything too, but I don't know.
It's kind of funny now because she bows so often. I've gotten to the habit where I bow back. And even watching these videos, when she bows, I almost go to do it myself. It's just, I don't know why I do it now.
Yeah.
I just do.
Okay, so just to give you a quick recap on all these different items, the light blue one at the top, that is how you copy Pokemon from your DS game to the Wii game. The next one to it, they're purple. That's where you can actually customize which Pokemon you want to use in your team. You can change your character, change their expressions, their catchphrases and everything. The next one to it, the big explosion of red, that's probably your main screen there. That's the Colosseum screen. That's where you choose which Colosseum to battle in. The yellow one is your Wi-Fi connection, because this game can actually be battled online with other people.
If you dare.
Yeah. Be prepared to face many Palkias and Dialgas if you go on there.
Among other things.
Giratinas, Rayquazas. Fun stuff. Although I do have a team of Eevees, I must point out, that are pretty devastating to legendaries. But we'll get into that later. So the very first thing I'm going to do is to copy my Pokemon from my DS Pearl game, because I've put in a good many hours into that game.
That's kind of one of my things with where it forces you to use Pokemon now and then that aren't yours. Because, I mean, you go into all this effort to train them up, and then there's situations where it doesn't even let you use them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe that's... I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. It just kind of bugs me.
Indeed. There's like 2 Colosseums, other than the Gateway Colosseum, where there's one that you cannot use your own Pokemon, and there's one that you have a chance of not being able to. And we'll get to those later. You'll see when we get to that part. Those are my 2 least favorite Colosseums.
As are mine.
Yeah, just remember the names Neon and Sunset, and I'm sure you'll be hearing about them later.
Very many angry words uttered.
We'll try to keep it clean for the kiddies, though. Alright, so now I've copied all my Pokemon to the Wii. At this point I can go into my Battle Pass to customize my very first custom pass. First on our list here we have our custom pass thing, where we actually get to choose our character and which 6 Pokemon we want to use. And I'm going to actually skip ahead of her. Next to it is Rental Pass, which is what we picked up at the beginning. And like we were saying, the Rental Pass isn't too bad, because it starts off, you got like 3 of the starter Pokemon. The Female Pass has the starters from the original Red and Blue game. And the Boy Pass has the ones from like the current, Diamond and Pearl.
I can't even remember what Rental Pass I originally went with. It's been too long since I went through it.
Yeah, I just went with the Boy simply because I'm the boy.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I would have liked the girl, because she has a Wartortle, and Squirtle is one of my favorite Pokemon ever. But then Wartortle isn't quite Squirtle, now is it?
Yeah, not quite.
So we gotta choose...
Sorry.
No, Wartortle's what?
What is my favorite out of that evolutionary line?
Oh, okay. It is pretty cool. Now, I gotta say, I hate the text entry for this. They set it up... Yeah, they set it up like cell phone style.
Yeah. You're a lot faster at it than I am.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice. And one thing, too, with this, as I'm going through later Colosseums, is, just for the heck of it, I don't know if anyone will actually notice it, but I kind of customize my catchphrases based on where I'm battling. And I do that off camera, everybody, so don't worry, you don't get to sit through me tapping in letter after letter.
Well, it saved us from something, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We let Anna explain all the menus, but we don't have to watch Chaz type in all of his catchphrases.
Indeed. Because, yeah, that would just be a little too much. So here we're going to check out some of the Pokemon. For the first Colosseum that I go into, it's actually a pretty, easy one, so I'm going to choose, like, unevolved Pokemon. But these are all Pokemon that I actually took the time to breed and teach a lot of special moves to from birth. So, I'm thinking they have a chance.
Breeding is something I just barely have gotten into. Like, I used to breed Pokemon, but I just would match up for whatever kind of baby I wanted. But now I've actually gone in and looking at egg moves and stuff, so it's something new I've gotten into that I'm enjoying.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent aspect, too, because, like, actually later on in Battle Revolution, one of the Colosseums opens up with, like, a secondary set of rules, where you can only bring up to a level 5 Pokemon. And if you don't have decent moves on them from birth, chances are they're not going to make it too far in there. So right here.
Broke out again, so I think I know what you said though.
Okay. Yeah, bear with us, folks. This is our first time actually using Skype, so if we're cutting out back and forth, yeah, we'll blame it on the computer.
Or if I talk quiet, that's just me being quiet.
Yeah. But hopefully it all comes across alright. And we're going to choose as, I think this is my last guy, Fuller. I call him my weather balloon.